Hello. Hi, everybody. It's so nice to see you. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, Tuesday. Wow. Well, what I want to talk about. Well, you know what? There's a lot of people that are suffering right now, and I've been doing a little bit of a study on average life situations that happen, and one of them is construction workers. I was thinking about that today. There are so many people that are in construction and they get into an accident, and the hundreds of people that die every year due to accidents, as well as motor vehicle accidents, as well as sickness, as well as depression and divorce and separation and problems with children and the stresses of life, such as getting something that you never thought you would get, which is cancer. And what do you do about it? People tell you, they're sorry. And, in the beginning, it's, somebody brings you over a fruit basket and then you don't see them again, all that kind of stuff. And it's hard. It's not easy, especially when you have to emotionally take care of yourself. There's nobody else that's going to really do it for you. You have to do it yourself. And especially with thinking about your things, it's taught me so much in the way of how often, not often, but in my whole life, how I put such an importance on things. And I started to think about why. And it all goes back to what kind of childhood you had. If your parents were transient, quite often you weren't able to hang on to the things that you grew up with, that you loved. It was very quick for you to lose something because you moved. You weren't allowed to take it. And or you're poor. So, you were on a fixed income your whole life. For me, my childhood was extremely bad. So, I had a mother that was, I don't know how to put it, but I don't like putting anybody down for any particular reason. I really don't. Today, one of the ladies brought me a gift, which I thought was so nice. And she was somebody I had a problem with. I'm looking around for it. Anyways, she gave me this ancient mineral oil, and you're supposed to spray it on your feet, which is bizarre. And a few other things for hair and stuff. And so, people give you things, you give things to people, and then, you look around your house and you wonder, all the things that you have. And, I hate looking at a cluttered drawer and seeing all that stuff that you just, that it's just holds you back. So with my cancer, where am I? Well, I got diagnosed December the 22nd, just before, oh my God, New Year's Eve. Doctor said he was sorry that he had to tell me this. A mass on my lower back, actually between my hip and my spine. I had an egg-shaped tumor the size of a golf ball wrapping itself around my sciatica nerve. That's why I lost my left leg. And cancer is one of those things that it comes in so many different areas, and I wonder why it goes into the places that it goes to. But one thing I will tell you is that if you really, truly are afraid, there's something about being completely having abstinence of anything and everything that is going to take you down emotionally. And I think that's what I mean about getting your life in order. Well, I don't smoke. I haven't smoked in probably 25 years. Marijuana, I got suckered into thinking that it would help me, anxiety, and all it was a smoking inhalation addiction. And I got away from that. It's been 3 years now. Oh, drinking alcohol. I don't drink alcohol at all. Not one single drop. I don't think there's anything beneficial of it. If they offer it to you in church, a tiny little bit, how they, but now it's juice. They don't do anything. I mean, not that I've ever known. What else is there? Relationships that are going to antagonize you. I don't believe in getting together with someone just because you can't make it on your own. There's a certain strength of being by yourself. I think a lot, and during the day, on a daily basis, I pray a lot, just out loud, talking to God, talking to Jesus, saying, please help me. What do I do? How can I fix this? How can I accept this? And it always seems to be with every kind of woe I have, one of which is my mother. She's dumped me again because she doesn't believe me of my childhood abuse. She just absolutely refuses to believe me. And yet my brother, it happened to him too. And he refuses to, be kind and caring. I'm cold right now, so I have to put on a sweater. Oh, I hate that. I can't stand being cold. So I've come to the point that, I couldn't rely on my mother when I was being abused. I told her, and she basically turned a blind eye to it. Stepfather forcing kissing on me, rubbing his face on me and giving me a very bad burn from his whiskers. He's dead now, and all my abusers are dead now. And it's given me a very bizarre kind of feeling. When somebody's really abused you really badly and took advantage of you as a child, and when you know that they're dead, it's just a very, very, it's a very bizarre feeling. It actually puts a little bit of fear in me, because I never would wish upon anybody a wrath. And I think what's happened to me is I processed a lot of these people that abused me, and I look at them the way that the Lord would look at them, and I've forgiven them, because there must have been something that happened to them. And mental illness comes in so many different degrees, like, well, we all know child killers and people that have hurt people, and poor women who've been at the hands of somebody that was absolutely sadistic, and they died alone with just morbid fear. I mean, that just scares me to death, because that's nearly happened to me twice because of the relationships my mother had been in. I had two very, very, very violent rapes that happened to me as a child, extremely violent. And I survived by negotiating. And I don't know where I got that skill, how it came. So I think that if you have any problems with life in general, whether it just be something that's a very severe trauma, that, staying away from drugs and alcohol and cigarettes and anything that would, and food, don't be a food addict, but try and really get yourself through that. And, the closer you can get to being whole, and I mean by, not involving yourself in this cosmetic world, with dyeing your hair and wearing copious amounts of makeup and, showing yourself off, or, I don't want to put anybody down for their tattoos, but I think marking yourself is not the greatest idea. I know that might piss some people off, but, I see people with with really, really bad situations of what they've done. And I wondered what they were thinking, tattooing their face and stuff like that. So I've been really doing, I think, well, forgiving people, moving on, cleaning out my place, safeguarding myself, making sure I've got all my doors, my windows locked. I've got no property that's out there that would lead someone into temptation. I have no outstanding bills. I don't do any kind of purchasing on credit. I don't do anything like that. Eating well. I'm not eating any meat products. I'm on a plant-based diet, which makes me feel, again, really a lot better. And I gained a little weight. I have what you call squamous cell carcinoma, and normally it's a skin cancer. And I don't know if it's something that I had on my body that made it go inside. Whatever, I try not to analyze it too much. It's, I think once you're told something so dramatically scary that it's best not to focus on death, although it crosses your mind quite a bit. And the way to combat that, I think, is to empower yourself by not having a lot of stuff and trying to reduce it down to a very minimal amount. And if it means selling your house, getting into a situation that I've really thought about a lot about whether I really want to be stationary, and I don't. I'm very drawn to thinking about being in an RV or a van. Truly, that's what I'm working on. I don't want to, I don't want to have any more responsibility of yard work and, house renovations and owning a house and having to pay property tax and insurance and all of that. I absolutely don't want that at all. I'm really basically, just getting rid of a lot of stuff. Truly, I've had enough. And it doesn't happen very quickly when you don't have a vehicle. So I'm having to, give a lot of stuff away, which that's what I've done. Some stuff I didn't want to give, but I just got rid of it. Some certain situations I didn't have a choice. It was taken from me. And which really, really shook me, upset me very badly. And then I thought, well, that's their thing, what they did. And I just have to move on. You can't go back and try and fix, something that was done to you. If something's been stolen from you, it's theft. It's somebody's mindset. You can't go back. It's just as the same as somebody who's, fooled around on you or hurt you in some matter. You can't go back. It's just you have to let them go. And I think the same thing is with people that you loved and they've passed on, and it's been very scary. You have to, I think, believe that they're in a better place, a place that you're going to. I think something that's a little bit of comforting to me, and it's a little bit odd, is somebody I really loved, and I know a lot of us loved her, was Princess Diana. She was such a lovely, beautiful, beautiful soul, and she passed. I believe she's in a very beautiful place. We're all going to meet her one day. So spirituality is extremely important. Forgiving those who have hurt you. Forgiving yourself for hurting yourself with drugs, alcohol, cigarette smoking, that kind of thing. And I have forgiven myself for doing that to myself. I don't know if my cancer is a result of it. And I don't think it really matters, because I knew a lawyer. His name was Thomas Dapp. He was just one of the most beautiful people I ever met, just such a loving soul. And he called me up and he said, Shannon, I've got cancer. And I never smoked. I don't understand it. And it was, he had a lung situation. He said goodbye to me, and I found out he passed. He was such a beautiful person. And this is what I mean, is that life is so short. You have to get that strength. Be kind. Take the time out to talk to strangers. Take the time out to, if you know something that could benefit somebody, take the time out to say something to them. You never know. Take the time out to save animals. Help people. Do community work. Give away your things now. Don't worry. I think having a dog really helps. My little boy here, I'll show you him. Yeah, see? Can we show them to you? Can we show everybody you? This is my little Arctic, and he's such a beautiful dog. He makes me feel safe. But even if he was to go, I would have to find some way of comforting myself. And I did. I cried a lot without my last dog. And, whatever it is that you can get, that you can do to help yourself, do it. Go for walks. And if you're really struggling with your things and you just look at it and you just feel terrible, I think something that does help is take your laptop and set your chair up and put that box of items in front of you. And while your mind is being comforted by something that you're watching, and just sort it, keep, sell, give away. It's comforting to watch something while you're working on your place. It really does help. And I would say that if you are somebody that that colors your hair a lot, the greatest thing that you can do is get your hair back to healthy. Get yourself back into health. Don't color your hair anymore. Get it back to healthy. Get yourself back to wholesome. It will help you. And if you know somebody else that's really struggling, try and help them in one way or another. I met a lady today and I just was in tears over her. She could barely walk. She had her shoes off. She was walking in the mall with just her socks. If you see something that is important to help that person and you've got the way of doing it, try and do it. Something that's always been rewarding for me is when you see somebody in distress, go to them and help them. Make sure you can save somebody if you can. There was a man that was passed out a few years ago. He had drank too much and he had alcohol poisoning. He was a First Nations man. And I put him in my car, which is something very bizarre, and I drove him to his house. And then I called 911 and I called the police for an ambulance for him, and they came and saved his life. Another little while, they told me that he would have died from sun exposure. It was a hot summer day. And he became a friend for years, and I loved him. I absolutely loved him. His name was Mr. Nahaney, Onzi Nahaney. He was a First Nations Squamish member, and I remember, we had fun times. We really did. You never know that the person that you're saving could end up being someone that you have a great time with. You know, if you know an older woman, an older lady, that's really suffering, bring her something. An older gentleman. If you see a part of the neighborhood, the community that needs to be cleaned up, go and get your broom and your dustpan, clean it up. It just does so much for your soul. If you're lonely, I miss cleaning the bridge the way I used to. But if you can find something meaningful to do every day, it will help you. It really will. So I don't know, this was just kind of a random video. I get my CT scan on my skull on Wednesday, and see if the cancers hit me in the skull. I do have 13 lesions in the frontal lobe. It hasn't bothered me yet. So, yeah, my name is Shannon. I just know that I'm dealing with a clean slate now. I've done everything that I can to please myself and the Lord. I'm eating well. I'm drinking water. I'm going out for walks. I can't walk very well. I'm going on a scooter, but I still try to walk, get my strength up. So please take good care of yourself. Make sure that you talk to somebody every day if you can. Don't have those days that you're alone. Don't do it. Try and have some interaction with people. You need to. Alrighty. God bless you all forever.